Welcome to Champagne Football Lemonade Banter. This season is brought to you by the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Whatever you're watching us on, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
You boys stay?
Live?
Aye.
Dulwich. I literally took 2 turns to get here, mate. I turned onto Canterbury Road and just went the whole way.
That's
and
more
then
turns
turned
than a fucking game.
Man, that hurts. Turning's all my game too, so you stung me there.
Nah, but along the way, he kept putting his blinker on and fucking...
Shake the guy chasing me.
Yeah.
First thing on Paul D, watch this.
Yeah. 100%.
What were you, Robbie? What are
I'm
you?
in Old Toon Gabby, if you know where that is.
No, I don't know what that is.
Winston Hills.
No, I know.
Parramatta,
Yeah, I know. Around
that area.
How long
Yeah.
did it take you? Not probably.
35?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Well, it's not a bad location because it's right off the motorway.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
help.
yeah,
We were in
easy.
Paddington before, which was good location, but it was a bastard to get parked.
Yeah.
And it was...
Yeah. But a bastard to get a park.
Aye.
Have you seen out here though?
Oh my god.
Mate, I thought this quiet suburb, mate. Everyone's here. Where they going?
I parked
The escape
290
room?
metres away.
They're all stuck. No one's come out. They've been there for years.
And then there's like a military shop. I'm like, what's these boys into, man? Guns and escape rooms. I'm not having this. Fucking hell.
Walked in shitting yourself,
Yeah.
man.
I'm like, what have we got planned here, boys?
Do you know, actually, because last time when we were here, it was so easy to park. Like last
That's
week.
usually quite... It's a business park, isn't it?
Aye, it was
Yeah.
dead quiet, and then I've come in, I've drove round, I've drove back, I've come back, and I was like, where the fuck am I meant to
Yeah,
park?
it's crazy.
Well, I made
yeah.
plays around there. SD Raiders.
What is it?
SD Raiders play just over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, is it? Is that?
Aye.
Oh.
What's it called again, the park?
Ernie Smith.
Ernie Smith Reserve. Aye.
Decent
Jeez,
knowledge
wow.
from you.
He's
that.
going to be 20 from
By
20.
the way.
He's
You gotta
going to be 20
understand,
from 20.
I've been doing sideline work
Aye, have I?
Ah,
for
true.
8 years.
I-
At Bankstown
and
as, a
last
player,
year-
as a player.
Yeah.
You're also a physio.
Yeah, fuck me. You're done, you fucking cute. Yeah, so I've been
Oh, so
every
you know
ground
everything.
fucking 7 times, you know.
Right.
Rondine, fucking Ian McLennan, fucking you send me.
What's the worst ground you go to as a physio?
As a physio,
Maybe Rondine has to be quite bad.
Rondine's ugly. I remember like one kid broke his collarbone when I was there treating inside. Someone's running in like, Robbie, fucking this bloke's done his neck. And I'm like, "Is that his neck?" I'm like, oh fuck, like that's a serious injury. I'm like shitting myself, run, jump the fence, sprint onto this kid. And he's holding over here. I'm like, that's not really his neck. I'm like, give him a look, champ. I looked at this thing and like literally it was like that through his skin. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, okay, like we may have broken a bone. Let's not bring your arm here. Let's sling it. I'm like, Dad, you're taking him to hospital. Like,
What
dude,
about
fucking
the worst injury you've had as a physio? As in football. In football.
as in that I've seen?
You've seen, I know you've
Cords.
had fucking loads.
Cordius one.
I haven't had loads. I had 3 in my life, and I had 2 in the last 2 years. So now, like, when I go to Rockdale, it burns me, bro. The kids are like, "Oh, why are you always injured?" I'm like, "I'm not
He's never
fucking
been
injured.
there.
like,
Yeah, seriously, never
look after my
been.
body like anything, man. I
Yeah.
can't. I
But
couldn't
what
be in
about
the
as
gym
in the
more.
other lads you've treated? Have you seen
Cord
anything
was
like
what?
that?
Cord
Collarbone?
was
All
bad.
I've seen is Cord's the worst by country mile. That fucking shin was. Ugh.
Yeah.
Who's?
That was
Cordier?
Cordier.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
the king
Cordier.
tackle.
Wait,
Like,
how's he getting on now?
He's good, man. I think he said he's going to start running maybe in the next, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
But I said to him, and you know, I think probably the specialist would be saying the same thing. I don't think, mate, when you're playing 30 rounds, I don't think you need to like proper rush it back.
yeah.
No.
Maybe he's like aiming for like April. I think he said maybe.
Well, you're going to have the Waratah Cup, FA Cup. You're probably going to play. I mean, if you have a good run in all them, you might play 36,
I
37
think how many
games.
games we played in every single
Last year
game
played every single
last
game,
year,
every
possibly.
single game,
So I think
yeah.
it was like I don't know, with maybe friendly it was 40. Someone was saying like played a lot of games, man.
But that was filthy watching that happen. Like he's gone down, he screamed, and people scream all the time as you think like, oh, they're yelping, so I'm gonna foul. But he's rolled over and hold his leg up in the air,
Yeah.
and his shin just
Angled.
got bang.
Oh.
And it was like you see the reaction. Everyone's like, oh, I've never seen so many hands go on heads in my life. I was like, what the? Everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, how do we? Like quickly, someone call an amber, cover him.
Yeah. To be
hell,
fair,
that
man, everyone
was-
did a really good job. That like obviously you and our coaching staff, everyone like reacted pretty
Were
well.
you on it? Were you on it quickly? Aye. Good on
Yeah.
you.
Everyone, I think, played a pretty important part.
Not much
I
you
started
can do,
yelling at
no.
and tell me for some reason, but I think everyone played their part. You know, yeah, it's just grim when that stuff happens.
Yeah,
No, it's
even
hard,
if you watch it, the tackle wasn't a bad.
No,
Wasn't
it's sort
that
of like
bad.
it's just
It
the
was a
way
few-
it happened. Yeah.
I think personally, like with a physio background, I think Cords has copped that many knocks from getting to
Oh, that
balls he
could've-
shouldn't get to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys get yellow cards and red cards for hitting him because he's got crazy gears. I've never seen anyone that quick off the mark.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
athlete I've ever played with.
Yeah, 100% best athlete.
So he
yeah.
gets the balls and like, he keeps copping knocks. He would have had some sort of bone bruising, some sort of weakness in his
100%.
bone from
That's
how many
caused
knocks
that.
he's copped.
He
And
cop,
that
he,
was the
would, he would
final
cop
straw.
tackles like that a few times a game, man, where he just
Yeah.
strides, just touches
touch.
it, nicks it past, and
At Spirit, he had one. The guy got a yellow card on him. The right back for
Yeah.
the same thing. Like,
Maybe he
dig the
got
ball
yellows and
back.
reds against you for absolutely nothing. Remember
yeah,
that game
oh,
he played
easy, mate, easy.
If you're on a time,
Don't
Come
get
on.
salty about
if
it,
you
mate.
time waste, you get yellows, man. That's
A
fucking
4
how it
second
goes,
throw
you
in.
know what I mean?
Red
Oh,
card.
yeah, that was, hey, I like all the referees in the league, but
Yeah.
geez, that one was
That was
that
comical,
was
mate.
friendly. That was friendly for us.
Well, look,
mate.
I think right, And I don't blame him. I blame whoever the coach was talking to him, right? Because he's got booked because he's gone
It
like
was,
this.
Gaz.
Was that you talking to him?
Nah, it wasn't me. Nah, I fell asleep if he was talking to me.
'Cause I reckon like that was the delay. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're
it
being
was,
a bit harsh calling that a delay. He literally fetched the ball
it was
and
hard,
walked
man.
to the
He's like
sideline.
talking
It
to
was
him,
so
The gaffer
harsh.
followed him. Oh, Luke, his name was the assistant. He tapped him to say like X. I don't know what he said to him.
Yeah.
I think he says take your time, and then he says, and then obviously, well, I think we counted 4 seconds
was
from him
harsh,
picking
man.
the ball up.
It was
and walking
harsh.
to the
That
throw-in.
was so rough.
And then one of those Rockdale
I was
players
like-
milked the foul out of him for the second yellow too. I think.
that was
Was that you, aye?
fantastic.
And you also did Wiggs' ACL that game. You also did Wiggs' ACL.
Oh, come on, mate. Don't do that to me. I felt so bad, man, for that.
That's so rough. Oh, man.
That was what was the score that game?
1-0. Blakey at the end. Was it Blake?
scored
1-0?
Yeah, Blake.
Blake-
Last
Two-
last
2-1,
time,
2-1,
we had
2-1.
Down
we
one.
had nine
That
men,
free
aye.
kick where it came off the
Yeah,
post.
9 men,
Nipple.
yeah.
9 men, man.
Yeah. And then Blakey came.
Was it Carl Shaw? He scored his nipple when he was falling in the box.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That's
He's
it.
good. He's
He's a
nipple
Blake
to
done
be
that
fair.
often. That was it 3 times Blake scored late on last
Yeah,
year.
Wollongong,
Aye,
Blake
aye,
James,
that's
man.
right. Aye.
Wanderers.
Wanderers.
Wanderers,
And
And that
Wollongong
one
and
felt
Spirit.
like there could have even been
And
one
all
more.
headers. Or straight off the springs. He had a
Yeah.
few like the fucking had too much spring on him. He
Yeah,
hit the crossbar
yeah.
and shit a few
He's
times.
back this year, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, he's back this year.
Like you were shooting.
Right, well, look, we're back at Champion Football. Well, new studio with Lightweight Athletic. Got wee Brenda and Gio Speranza's brother here, which is good. Well, look, pre-season starting and all the rest of it, but what did you boys do Christmas, New Year? Anything special over that time? Obviously, we just have 2 months off. 2 months off?
Yeah, I
September.
think it ends up working out. Like, obviously, we went all the way to the GF, so we didn't have much time before we had to really start getting back into it. I think we started sort of like late November. Pretty much trained the whole way through.
Yeah.
I think, the coaching staff were pretty flexible in allowing players to have time off and go on holidays with their families. But we pretty much trained the whole way through and we've had pre-season games scattered across.
So you started in November and you have a break for Christmas?
Yeah, well, we sort of had a break, but we ended up having like some optional sessions around if boys were in and around
Optional.
Sydney. Hey, mate, the turnout was actually pretty good for anyone that was in Sydney. Like, a lot of boys.
I know, but they say optional, right? But really they're saying, this is on. We would like you to be here.
Yeah,
if you're
pretty
all
much.
training,
There's
then
a
you
brownie point session.
Yeah,
If you need brownies, you
man.
go.
Yeah.
If
If
you're
you
all
want
training and
spot-
you check someone's
if
Insta
you're-
story at the pav, they'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I knew what he's mate.
Yeah.
Hero doesn't go to those ones, Like if you're established.
Oh, mate, you didn't turn up until Jan, but but like, and I think the coaching staff were pretty cool with boys' availability, understanding that we only have like 8 weeks off or something like that before you come back into pre-season.
Well, St George, I was talking to Ben, he said, obviously he was at the World Cup final, you boys and all the rest of it, and you finished, mid-September with everything, and then St George went back on like October 26th or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
For,
a
for,
long
for
year, man.
semi-pro footy and like you're training that whole time. and
Full-time
training
work.
Yeah, man.
Aye.
It's
Yeah, I think
crazy.
that's it. Rowdemere did that in NPL. They're obviously in NPL too.
Yeah.
They were the same. They were back October, 3 sessions a week.
Yeah.
They do 3 times a week.
Don't get me wrong. I love it, and I think you need to maybe invest time. But I think with NPL football, I think one thing that I've noticed over the years of playing is it's even more mental than physical.
Of course it
You know,
is,
when
aye.
you're doing work and you're there, 3 times a week, sometimes it can be, you get burnout mentally
100%.
if you start too early. I think the physical side of things is great, but yeah, you got to manage that
I think as
mental
the
stuff.
season goes on, in my opinion, I mean, just now, usually it's good, everyone's buzzing, it's summer,
yeah.
everyone's looking forward to the first game, but see when you start to get June, July,
Yeah, that's when you test.
It's a bit cold.
Yeah.
Things aren't going your way. Especially, it's hard.
But
man.
everything's what you make of it too, right?
It
Like,
is.
if you look, whenever I'm like sort of down on things, like I'm getting personal trained with a ball with all my best mates.
Yeah,
Aye.
true.
It can't be that hard. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
No,
if the coach
it's
hammers
class.
me, like,
and you're
"Alright,
paying
man,
$2,000 a
like-
week.
Yeah, pretty easy when you throw that in there. Too.
That's my
Don't get
goal
me wrong.
bone. That's my goal.
No, that's obviously the good part of it, but still the practicalities of life. If something happens in your life, you're like, shan't I go training it? Because it's an employment, it's,
Yeah.
it's job.
That's
It's not
it.
to turn up and you've just already worked all day.
100%.
It's a graft, man. If you kids at home and
Yeah.
you go fucking training, man. But then every time you finish training, you're always in a good mood.
Aye.
It's always class, man.
I actually think that so sometimes I think on a Tuesday we train at 8 o'clock. It's an 8 o'clock start, which is obviously quite late. See having a gap from when you finish and you go home, and then trying to get yourself back out to training, it's so fucking hard.
know,
like,
mate.
see if
Yeah.
you're just going straight from whatever you're doing, your work, you finish. If something to eat, straight to football, you're fine. But see
Yeah.
that time in
switch
the
off.
house where you
Mate,
sit
if
down.
you put the cheeks on the lounge, you have to get back up.
Oh,
So
Nah,
summer's not
that's
too bad when
it.
it's bright, but if it's dark, say it hits dark about 5:30 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, that's
Yeah,
brutal,
that's,
man.
that's tough.
That's brutal. What about Christmas and New Year? What did you boys do? Anything? Go away anywhere?
I got away up the coast, Central Coast for a week.
Yeah.
Beach every day. That's about it, really.
Not bad.
Yeah, I was similar. I went up the coast to Foster for a bit, came back, and then we're just away last weekend up the Central Coast as well. Just a couple little trips
Family?
away. Yeah, just with the family.
Chucky
yeah.
books holidays when the pre-season sessions are on.
That's how you do it.
Clever, man.
so
Clever.
back
That's
on this
experience,
time.
mate.
Finds
That's
out
experience,
from
aye.
his dad what days
Yeah.
what can miss.
Exactly.
Gets the inside early.
Exactly.
But like, so see, obviously Christmas here. Like, what do you do on Christmas Day, family wise?
Usually just family stuff. I'm sure you're pretty much the same, man. Like, obviously I've got a wife and little one at home, so we'll juggle both sides of the family and fit ones in on different days around the sort of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day sort of thing. And yeah, that's all I really want to do after a busy year when I'm out a lot of the time with footy and work. I don't really want to go anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
fair.
I just want to be home
What do
with
you
the
do for work?
family. Sales.
Sales, sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
what do you sell? Apart from your arse.
Anything for a starting spot.
Sell number
nah.
10s to NPL clubs.
Yeah, I sell myself
really
pretty
good
well.
player,
Made
yeah.
an NPL career out of selling myself. No, I mean just tech sales.
Oh, yeah,
So
good,
risk and compliance, pretty boring, but
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy it.
Aye, good.
Boss's legend gives me time off when I need for footy. So
Podcast.
podcast. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're recording this on a Friday, 6 o'clock.
And you, obviously, what do you do again, mate? Just
I'm a
wanted to-
physio.
I was only joking. You told me.
Easy.
Not much of one, but that's right.
Classmates, you're back at training, and then I think Chaz just wants to run through your 2024 season, which obviously was a big season for both of you in different ways.
Won the league for the first time in the club's history.
Yeah, man.
40 years since the last trophy.
Wow.
It was nice.
You've still not took off the medal?
Nah, I've actually been wearing it for the last 4 months since we got it.
Looking at it as a whole, what was the kind of best and worst moments, like high points and low points of the season?
I think that loss to Marconi was pretty
Yeah.
egregious.
What was the
Yeah.
score?
9-0.
They have to know about the score,
Easy.
man. But you know what? I think it made us. It toughens up a little bit. Like
That was a me-
sometimes
that's
you
men-
cop
that
something
was
like that.
mental,
We came back
mental,
3 days
mental.
later and beat Blacktown to Blacktown,
Yeah.
which is a pretty hard place to go.
That was
a
a big week, because obviously
Yeah,
after
was
that
it?
result, I remember talking to a few of the boys. I'm thinking, they beat Blacktown away.
Yeah.
It's a tough game. And
Probably
then-
the,
massive
one of the
result.
hardest fixtures you can go
Oh,
off the back of a
100%,
9-0. And we
yeah.
played on the Wednesday, by the way. So we then, it's a 3-4 day turnaround.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, look, like Robbie said, I think that probably made our season, because if we don't respond well there, we don't win it.
Done.
No
So it was a
way.
wake up call.
It's
Big wake
mad
up call,
that
wasn't it?
because obviously we had Blake on, and
Yeah.
Blake said the same thing. It was like we got it out of our system and we responded so well from
Yeah,
it.
I think it taught us a lot, man, as individuals and as a team.
Yeah.
I think
Not just for that season, but now for future seasons.
Yeah, and that 4-day turnaround was tough physically, and obviously we're getting abused online in every way and form. It was, even you guys had a little dig too. It was banter,
Yeah,
Banter,
that's deserved, man. You can't come lose
that's right.
9-0
You
and just can't expect not to
can't
cop
hide
it,
behind anything, but it was good that we could rectify it immediately and then
Yeah.
shut everyone up because you go and beat Blacktown,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah. And then obviously, I don't know, special moments, there was a lot,
yeah.
really. But I think that after we'd already won it, then playing the home match, Mariners,
Yeah,
yeah,
last game,
yeah, last
that
game
was
of the
just
year.
pretty special, man, to have family and friends and fans, and we got unbelievable fans. They were all there in even bigger numbers than what we normally expect, which is hard to imagine. And it was just really special to just enjoy a game of footy, knowing that we'd wrapped it up, but just to have a whole bunch of fun. And some of the footy we played that day, because we were just playing so free with,
Aye.
so much enjoyment, ready to celebrate. That was definitely a pretty special moment for me. And then obviously, when Marconi ended up dropping points, I think I was at home on the lounge watching Selling Sunsets, and we saw the score and took the blanket off, told the missus I'll be back Wednesday, and straight to the clubhouse. That was pretty cool
celebrations
too.
were good online with the cigars on.
Yeah,
That
man, it
good,
was tough, man. We just went to the clubhouse, no one was there, and we just, let loose and, let off a lot of steam that we'd been sort of building up throughout the course of the season. So that was a pretty cool moment too.
That was good. It was what was a bit. There was a few moments actually with the Rockdale. One I remember was in Newcastle. Was it Newcastle Jets? you played
Newcastle,
with?
yeah.
And obviously watching on TV,
Yeah,
and the
another
camera
good one.
panned out, and you just seen the fans in the back with the big
Mate,
banners and
that
all
was
that.
another pretty special moment
That
too.
was pretty good. Actually, that game was like I don't watch a ton of A-League, to be honest with you, but watching it, you wouldn't really know. I actually missed the first half, so second half probably more so. You wouldn't actually know who was the A-League side in that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
He's played really, really well, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't make it through.
That was actually my next point, was obviously asking your feelings on it. Obviously the result wasn't what you wanted.
I think it was like 11 shots to 3 that day. Like
Yeah.
it was, we're
For us,
going at
wasn't
him, and
You missed a big chance near the end, didn't you? It was was it Lockett missed it?
yeah,
Aye.
yeah, it's, got under it.
But that was another thing with Rockdale. I went to the Rockdale Olympic game, and he's had like the Legends match beforehand. And I took one of my mates with me who doesn't have a clue about NPL, big football fan, but he's had like Pig on the Spit. It was like a big event with Savlaki that on.
Yeah.
He's like, this is unbelievable. It was a full house, and I'm like, this is what it should be every
Yeah.
week. But obviously, it was a one-off event. But
And there's some unbelievable goals that day, mind you.
I was
Sergio goal of the year that day.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's right. That's right.
that was the one,
Like,
yeah.
That's
little
right.
bombs left, right, and centre.
That's right. Was it 3-2 it finished? I think
3-2, yeah.
3-2.
3
aye.
good goals as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
I know, I'm just thinking, you said it right, and then I'm thinking about it, it was 3 good goals.
That was a good game, but I think for someone in the crowd, if you could get that more often for NPL games, I know it's not practical all the time, especially with it like 7:30 kickoffs and all that at night time.
Yeah.
But for a Sunday afternoon, there's families there.
Yeah.
There's the ice cream truck for the kids and for the adults as well, obviously. And then it was like Stone and Wood was on tap. It'd be
Tops, huh?
brilliant, man. It's a crack do it. Sitting with a Savlaki pig and a spit in a pint. This is magic. And then watching.
Good day out, good weather, good footy. Can't complain much about that. Yeah.
Why do you think Rockdale do quite well fan-wise versus... Well, some other clubs do well as well, but Rockdale do quite well.
I think we've just got a pretty passionate fan base.
Yeah,
We just got a whole bunch of people that actually really care about how well we do, and
It's also culturally supported, right?
yeah.
Like, I think a lot of the clubs who have a cultural background have supporters.
Yeah.
You know, you get like...
But did Bankstown get that many fans?
not now.
No.
But I'm
Sydney
sure back
Macedonia?
when they were successful, that would have been.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's my next question, though. So if you
Yeah.
guys start doing shite,
yeah.
would
Do
you
they
still get a
rock
good
up?
turnout?
I still think they
Yeah.
rock up, but
Yeah.
like,
They'll be there. They'll just be abusing us.
Just-
No, honestly though, through thick and thin, like even after the 9-0, fair play, jokes aside, like
You're still top of the league at that point, weren't you?
yeah, but like even the first season, when we finished second, or my first season at Rockdale, sorry, we finished second, and we had some bad spells there. We lost a few in a row, mate. Some of them come to training and said, we still back you, and they're at the games, and we still get great turnouts. So like full credit to them. It's not like they were jumping our back. They'll still turn up in numbers, no doubt.
and it grows over time too, right? Like I was at Rockdale 2011 to 13, and we didn't have fans back then.
Yeah.
But 2013, we made the grand final, and I think all the young Massos started getting behind it because it's the Macedonian club, it's local, and now these guys have grown up and they're still there, going to games 10 years later. So I think success also breeds a fan base. Where at Marconi, they started getting some fans 5 years ago. They ended up in a massive punch on with United fans, and Marconi banned them. So like there is people who want to come to games, I think, and then it's a matter of making it interesting, making it exciting for them. I think like flares, bring it back.
No,
If I'm going to games with flares, I'm going to go every week. I want to see flares more than the game.
Our fans will bring them even if they're not allowed, mate. So they find a way.
No,
be
small
not
things like
that
that.
exciting
Like you look at football across the whole of Europe, like South America and all the rest of it. Things like that happens in the crowd. As long as someone's getting hurt, fair dues, it's different.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
they're basically saying, "Oh, you just have an atmosphere." Nah, sit down.
Seriously.
Hell, man.
Don't enjoy yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, I mean, obviously a good year for Rockdale. The only game that I watched that I thought I was really surprised was the World Cup final. What do you think? What happened in that game? Because we haven't really spoke to anyone since that World Cup final. I thought he was a pretty poor
I think,
game.
yeah, I think again, this is just speaking from the finals that I've been involved in. I feel like it's all momentum based in finals. It's not always the best team that we. And in saying that, RPL were the best team on the day, and they deserve to win it. But I just think there were moments that went their way, very probably similar to the grand final, in fact, where both teams were playing decent, and then there was a moment in both cases. I think the goals changed the games. We had a couple of chances before Arpia scored. I think if that goes in, I think we win the match. But then as soon as Arpia scored, I thought they were in control and they were the better team. So I think there's moments very based on momentum in finals matches, especially probably NPL football. And that really defines the match, I think.
It was a Wednesday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
That was a random one. Cup final should not be a Wednesday night.
Well, they used to like have
They
a
used to have a
weekend
week off
That's
for
right,
for the
yeah.
cup final, but I think because they put 30 weeks in and you've got 2 midweek rounds, you
Gotta
can't make
squeeze it
3
in.
midweek rounds.
How do you
for that
boys
cup
like the
final.
30-week comp?
I think you'd be there anyway doing pre-season.
No,
Yeah,
I love it.
so-
I
I
love
love
it.
it, mate.
I feel like this is my argument to the whole grand finalists. I mean, take nothing from Marconi. They also push you boys close and deserve to win the final. But I feel like if you're going to win a 30-game comp, you're the champions.
Yeah.
But it was like 23 games, 19, all that.
Yeah, 30 weeks.
I understand that it's a bit of a weaker argument, but 30 games is a long year for a part-time club. And to
100%,
go with
man.
top at that, it's like, well, they deserve to be the champions versus a
You
grand
said you
final.
won, 23 games?
23 out of 30, with 4 draws, 3 losses. Like, if you're, I think that defines who the best team of the year was, and obviously Marconi were the best team of the grand final.
Oh yeah,
Which is
100%.
why they-
There's
so,
a-
like, you
take nothing
got
from
to give credit where it's true, and on that day they were the best team across the league. We were the best team in the
Yeah.
cup final. You're the best team. Like, everyone is a champion of something,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
and it just depends on
kinda
what.
got on board with it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think that obviously being brought up in Europe, it is always there's a league champion. And
Yeah. That, look, I think it's
Well,
just
for 30 weeks,
it's an Australian culture thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like a
it's-
GF, and don't get me wrong, like the one I won with Manly, that was so much fun. Like a grand finals and epic.
It should be celebrated.
It
Still.
should be
Aye,
celebrated, yeah.
exactly. Go
Yeah,
mental.
that's
You
right.
want to win
Yeah,
it. I'm not taking any away for the achievements. I just think I don't feel like the league winners, not just last year, but in previous years,
seasons, yeah.
they don't really get the recognition.
Well, put it this way, like if some of my proud moments are, you know, winning leagues, because I know that I've just grafted for 9 months.
Exactly.
And all that consistency paid off to actually being, you know, recognised as the most consistent performers.
You can't win a league by chance. You can't have a one-off game.
One-off game where you've turned up and razzle. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's part of like why we won it. I think we had a system that was like very
built
steady.
for constant.
Yeah, so we
results,
knew that everyone was going to do the exact same role every week. There's nothing left to chance. And then you're going to have your outlying games where you might, you know, the borders hit the net for you or whatever else. Like we drew with Souther at home, and I think we drew with someone else, Wollongong away.
Yeah.
So you get a couple of games here and there, but other than that, like we only dropped points against top 4 teams.
Yeah.
And every other team that was below
Is that all you drop points against? Eh?
Yeah, just Wollongong and Souther, a draw each.
No,
I
think
think
maybe top 4.
They said the rest of
Yeah.
beside those
We
two.
drew
Oh,
Penny,
right, okay,
lost
okay.
lost to Blacktown, lost to Apia once, and I think that was one of
Yeah.
the draw somewhere. But like
And lost to Olympic.
the Olympic, that's it.
That's
It was
probably the one,
4-3.
Did Olympic beat us?
Yeah, that day at Cogra there, the last
Where they
year.
had those thugs celebrating in front of us.
Yeah,
was
they-
funny.
13-year-old thug. That was so
man.
funny.
That was
To be
amazing.
fair, man.
Chucky's opposition.
Yeah. It's like you'll cop it at training this week, little man.
That was brilliant, man.
That was good fun, yeah.
That was so funny.
Obviously, after such a big and kind of successful year, you would have had a wonderful end of season trip.
Yeah.
Is there any good stories you can share?
Yeah, a lot of
we-
them we probably can't.
We had like a
say
good
on
Sudoku
this.
championship.
Yeah, we sat down, played some chess.
Well, how'd you run a decks?
Yeah.
Me? Yeah. Don't mind a stab on the decks. Not very good, but I'll give it a crack. Yeah, we had a good. To be fair.
Write yourself off. Make it unbelievable.
Yeah, all right,
that was
I'm
a-
all right then.
The whole vibe was just DJ Chucky in his freaking.
I seen
outfit
some of
and
the
in the
photos on
Paul D
Instagram.
outfit.
It was looked like a decent wee setup. Decks
Yeah,
on the
mate,
beach.
we did well. I'm a big believer of a big house instead of maybe separate
Oh, I
apartments,
get it,
just
yeah.
just so no one can go
Agreed.
missing. Yeah, mate, it was great spot.
We
great
did
weather.
dress up to pull someone out of the hat, and then
Yeah.
Cord's got Chucky out, so and he's dressing him up as Paul D. So he had like the
Skinhead.
Skinhead. He had like
I had the
a
Survivor shirt
t-shirt.
on, a muscle thing.
fucking
And
awesome.
then I dressed.
Someone told me that Paul went on a Survivor show.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah,
How
it's,
did it
it's
go?
airing on the
Cat's out the
17th
bag.
of
You know how he got on?
Feb.
Oh, you're not allowed to
oh,
know.
mate,
No, to tell.
can't say, man. Unless you
Can't
want to
say,
put a
man.
bit of money on.
Let's talk after.
Diesel for the win, eh? Million on that. Yeah, so mate, end of season was unreal. Again, it's just like I feel like that's something that's important to football culture here is
Massively,
semi-professional football. Like you've just grafted with dudes that you probably spend more time with than your family. You need to have to go there and let some steam off. And
Where did you go?
Gold
Gold Coast. Gold Coast. Go to Dream World.
Yeah,
yeah,
twice.
a little bit
Yeah.
of that.
Were you big enough to go on the roller coaster?
No, some of them. Some of them. I had to edge my way in on a couple of the big ones.
He's wearing his platforms, you know.
The cheeky ones, yeah.
Did the sponsors dig deep to support your travels after winning the league?
I don't even know. Did they?
Not too sure, actually. You have to ask Euro. He controls all the cash.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
His pockets get bigger.
Yeah.
It's just
Right,
getting
like,
back.
oh yeah, the club gave us anything.
Yeah,
2K.
yeah,
you get
$50.
tickets free.
All right.
Well, look, we segue is going to be something different. Just to get one thing in this podcast, we'll try to get to know players a wee bit, right? So we'll go through both these individuals. We'll start with you, Robbie. So, right, you wake up tomorrow morning, right? You've got no work. You've got your missus, your kids are away for the full day. How are you spending your day as Robbie Speranza? You can't talk to your brother either. You can't.
Sounds like
So it's just
piggyback
you.
wheels
You
on.
wake up. You can wake up whenever you want. You can eat whatever you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Where do you go? What do? How do you spend that time?
Honestly, I'm the worst at spending time on my own. So I every minute I get when missus is away somewhere, I go to the gym. So
Right, okay, so you wake up, you go to the
I
gym.
wake up, coffee, gym, probably coffee, go for a bay walk, maybe go to the beach, swim, come back out, get another coffee, go home, gym.
So you go to the gym twice on your day off.
3 maybe.
Aye.
I love it. I can't
And you
stop.
would you do it in between gym? What are you watching TV? Are you
I
just
can't watch TV on my own. I have to watch it. Like I like watching trash, like maths and shit.
right?
Me
Okay.
and my missus, and I like to abuse them at the like I don't want to abuse someone like to you. If I'm sitting there, I'm abusing by myself. It doesn't work. But if I'm abusing, like, look at this dickhead, you know, and like you're there next to me, and like I know, right? And like, you better agree with me too. If you don't agree with me, then I'm gonna lose
Aye.
it.
Then you give
You
abuse her.
abuse them.
Yeah. like I can't sit alone. If
So
I'm
your
driving,
day,
I'm
so
calling
you've got a
people.
day to yourself. You're waking up. You're having a coffee. You're going to the gym.
Yeah.
Another
back-
coffee.
another
Another
coffee.
gym.
Then you're going-
exercise,
You need help, mate.
train, beach, coffee, gym.
That sounds shite.
Sleep.
I know.
I love
Sounds
it. I can't.
terrible,
and I
man.
have to call people the whole time. I can't be on my own. Like I'll have my AirPods and I'll be calling people, talking shit. Yeah.
Aye.
I'm-
No, you can't. No, you can't talk to him. It's just you. It's Robbie
no
Speranza
one,
day.
like any of my mates.
Nah,
Mate,
you
this
get him. Come
he'd
with two
struggle.
mates.
He'd struggle.
I got a lot of friends. You would be surprised. Like, I talk a lot. They just listen. I got a lot of ears. Don't mute me. I
Math,
reckon.
people in maths don't count, mate. They only know friends. No, that. So that's your day.
Yeah.
What would you have to
food?
eat?
Oh, eat food wise.
Tiramisu, coffee, tiramisu.
I don't know, man. I like frangos. I just smack some frangos if I can go to my mum's place, but you sort of can't go anywhere.
No,
My
no.
mum's house, I'd have,
You can
like,
go anywhere. You
chicken
just can't.
palmy
If you
and
go to your
stuff.
mum's house, it's empty.
Oh, so she's not making food. Can she leave me food and then I go like?
They can
get
fit one,
food there?
aye.
Yeah, mum's chicken parmigiana. It's beautiful.
So that's your dinner.
It's goated. Yeah, that's what I'll be eating for sure.
And what's your lunch?
Frangos,
Frangos.
yeah,
And with your
frangos.
breakfast, nothing, just coffee.
Coffee,
Coffee.
a couple of them.
Coffee and a dumbbell, just loving it.
Maybe a donut. I love donuts.
Oh,
yeah.
do you?
It's my
Cheeky.
weakness.
I
Yeah.
can tell.
I'm heavy.
What about you?
I'm pretty similar, right? I get up pretty early. I'll have a coffee. I think in an ideal world, I'd go and kick a ball around in the morning. I love a good morning session, and then you feel pretty revived for the rest of the day. You feel good. So I'd go kick a ball around. I love the beach. I'd hit the beach a little bit, I reckon.
What's your favourite beach?
I like Whale Beach. My wife and I got married in
Oh,
Whale
aye.
Beach.
Nice.
It's
Oh,
like
nice.
up northern beaches, so that's pretty special to us. You know, it's pretty standard beach, but more sort of a specific thing to me. I'd probably say that one though. If I had to pick, I like that one.
Yeah.
So hit the beach probably like in the Arvo or something like that. I don't like heat of the day beach. I think it's too much. I like sort of when it cools down a little bit in the Arvo. And then I'd take my dog for a walk. Oh, dogs are around.
I'll give you a dog. I love dogs. I'll give you dogs, aye.
Dogs
He's
are
dog gonna
legend.
get my brother.
Oh, easy.
I mean, I heard you're the one on the leash, so it was
What kind of dog you got?
Italian Greyhound.
Oh, lovely.
So it's a little speedy thing. I'll take it to the park, let her off the lead and let her run around, do the zoomies. And then, I don't mind the gym as well, or hit the boxing bag. Don't mind a little bit of that in the Arvo as well. So, yeah.
Fucking hell, he's a couple of boring bastards.
Yeah.
So, dinner, lunch, breakfast?
Brekkie, pretty standard, just eggs on toast, bit of Avo. Don't mind that.
I mean, you can have anything here. Like, ingredients are abundance. You can have
Yeah.
anything you want.
Yeah, but like, are we also calorie counting here? Are we looking after
Oh,
our
this
bodies or
guy,
no?
man.
Fuck
Don't worry, man. Jeez, you brought the wrong bloke on,
You're
man.
doing 30,000 steps going to the gym twice. You can have fucking...
Maybe a few CCs
Yeah,
for
in
dinner
saying
then.
that, then I'll probably rock some pancakes. Don't mind the
Ah,
pancakes.
cheeky.
Yeah,
That's
cheeky
better.
that.
Never
Yeah.
thought.
Okay, now we're cooking. A big fan of ice cream though. Like after.
Would you have
like,
that in break? Would you put
No,
ice cream
no,
in
no.
pancakes?
Oh, ice cream on the pancakes,
Aye,
absolutely.
lovely.
And then lunch, Frango's burger with chips is elite.
Frango's getting a good bit of airtime
Yeah,
here.
yeah. They
Right,
pay us to drop the names. Free burgers, please, Frangos. And then afternoon, don't mind a steak, a good steak, decent. Actually, nah, it's pizza, big pizza fan.
Pizza, yeah.
Yeah, got pizza.
Any-
Johnny Gio's.
I was going to say, is that what you
Yeah,
recommend?
John Gio's is
Man.
class. The one just opened up in Dulwich here near us.
Oh, has it?
So yeah.
Diavola.
Yeah, class
one.
that. Bit of spice.
Yeah.
And then, ice cream at the end, either Messina or don't mind a cheeky cornetto, something like that.
No, that's good. That's a wee bit better that
You've
day.
been to Anderson's?
Ice cream?
ice cream
Aye,
shop.
could you?
No, decent.
It's a Danish nugget ice cream.
That doesn't sound appealing, mate. A little chocolate
That's the
Danish nugget.
Best I've ever had.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. No, it's not chocolatey, but
No,
this.
is that the flavour of the ice cream?
Yes, that's the.
Nah, I've not tried that.
Yeah.
I just get
I'll suss it out. I'm big on ice cream. So
What's your
I'll-
ice cream flavour of choice?
I don't mind the Dolce flavour from Messina, like that caramel
Okay.
one. Or, I don't know, I cop a bad rap for this, but cookies and cream. I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of cookies
Don't
and cream.
mind. I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cookies.
People smash me for that, but
Gotta get hazelnut.
I'm big on pistachio at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for segueing on ice cream, but
Not a
big-
problem.
Nah, just you get so excited
Yeah.
there when you were talking
yeah,
about it.
hazelnut as well. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I don't think I could pick one.
Mint chip, choc chip, I'm into.
You are Colgate man.
Nah, I love
Not
a bit
big
of
on that.
Colgate. Aye. Brush my teeth with it. Aye, I like it. Mint choc chip.
fair
To be fair, I love ice cream, but mint choc chip. Although I'm not a big fan of the cookies and cream.
No.
I can eat it.
Yeah, but you're not picking it.
Nah, I'm not choosing it. One of
Yeah,
those
I might verge off that. I cop too much flack for that. I feel. Yeah.
Don't bow out the pressure, mate.
Yeah, probably shouldn't. I'll stick with it then. Yeah, I'll stick with it.
man.
Yeah, I'll stick it.
Look, before we crack on, one thing just to ask anyone who's watching or listening, if you can just click the follow button, like button, subscribe button, whatever button's there, just click it. Try to build the YouTube channel as best we possibly can to make sure channel grows. Thankfully, with it growing last year, we managed to get this decent studio for Lightweight Athletic.
And some big fucking first guesses
so
on
press
it.
Big
that
first
button
guest.
right
Hopefully
here.
they'll be coming next week. I will get the boys on. But aye, so please, if you can follow, subscribe, makes a massive difference. Seems like a small thing, but does make a massive difference in the world madness of social media. Moving on, really to your careers.
Yeah,
Chaz
sure.
is going to run you through your careers. Might
Can I
take
just
a couple
mention
of
quickly, while you're on the YouTube thing, if you look up Brendan Cholakian highlights 2016, mate,
Decent.
A-League contracts coming.
They never came, by the way. Nah,
I
never
heard,
came.
that, I heard the dream's still alive, but you're trying to still get A-League, you boys were saying.
Yeah, mate, if they come knocking, nah. Play for
Well,
free.
Talking about that, right? You might not know, and the boys at Rockdale, I don't think they've heard that you actually played in the FA Youth Cup at Anfield?
Yeah, I did, and if you've got about an hour, I can run you through the whole story. Nah, the boys are going to smash me if you bring this all up, so I'm not going to go down it, mate. But yeah, no, pretty cool part of my career there.
So what was the crack? You played, what age group was that?
15, 16s.
You played for who against who?
Liverpool.
Played for Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah.
Against who?
I played, or in that wasn't a cup final. It was just a cup match that got
Yeah, yeah.
rescheduled from the academy to Anfield there. We played Everton actually on that one.
wow.
Yeah, Ross
Oh, was it?
Barkley. Yeah.
Really?
I was just going to ask that. Who'd you play? Anyone who
Yeah,
said
yeah. Nah, I didn't get near him actually.
No, that's good.
We did, when I signed for, we played a fair bit of fullback. Yeah, it just that sort of typical academy. They played sort of boys everywhere, and so I started to put the number 2 jersey on me. Played a fair bit of fullback. They wanted sort of to.
So how did that come about? Obviously, you being at Liverpool.
Yeah, well, I was playing just over here, and you know, there was a scout that just reached out to my old man, and
Who pulled you?
yeah, no, he's my agent. Yeah, no, it's sort of a scout that was over here watching a couple of games, and yeah, gave my dad a call and thought it was a big joke, and yeah, pretty much hung up on him, and then he called him back again and said, "No, I'm actually being serious."
Who were you playing with at the point here?
Blacktown.
You're at Blacktown, right? Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't actually playing much there. We were stuck with all the Swiss boys, which was sort of the setup back then, and you know, there was some, to be fair, great players, and I just wasn't getting much of a run, and then those Swiss boys weren't playing that match, and I was, and got a little bit of interest. And back then it wasn't like they could. I think it's actually like this now, that they can't just say, "Oh, you know, come over, you got a contract." It was sort of like, "Well, if you ever move over for other reasons."
Yeah.
So my parents, they've got a business, so they moved the business over and for a little bit there, and yeah, turned up there, trained there for a couple of weeks, and then they offered me a contract.
How long were you there for? How long was the contract?
2 years, so it's 15s and 16s at
So you had 2 full years there?
Yeah.
Oh, who was
Well,
it?
actually, the end of the 16s, they release you a little bit early to give you a chance if you don't get the youth team there. So then it gave me an opportunity. I moved to Stoke for almost a year there, and then didn't get much there from Stoke. Understandably, with Kenwyn Jones and Ricardo Fuller up top, not going to sit there in the pocket behind them.
In the pocket, you mean?
Yeah, in their pocket. Yeah. Kenwyn Jones knocking balls down to me. Yeah, so then just played a little bit in some of the local sort of lower leagues there, and you know,
Who'd you play with?
I was. They go to things called exit trials.
Yeah.
Then they offer you some teams coming off you things from Barnsley and Port Vale and Rotherham, just some small, decent,
clubs,
and maybe looking back on my career, it could have been something that I took, but with how it worked back then, you essentially had to drop out of school.
Yeah.
So they teach you maths and English at the academy, but that's it. So it's not a high school certificate. So if I came back to Australia, which I did,
nothing.
I would have had to. I wouldn't have year 10 next to my name. You know, they call it GCSEs over there, and a high school certificate here. So, you know, maybe I could have just backed myself and, you know, committed my full life to just being a pro footy player. But I just thought maybe it was a good opportunity for me to come back, finish my high school here, and I thought maybe with some clubs like Liverpool and Stoke on my resume, I could maybe get into an A-League setup, but it just didn't work that way. So.
What about at Liverpool? Did you play with any boys who have...
Yeah, Connor Cody was my captain.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Top player. Like, you can say he was sort of like the model for what sort of typical English players were, be a strong, physical, vocal captain. You know, you can always tell he was going to be something. Another fella called Andre Wisdom. Not sure if you heard of him.
Andre Wisdom?
Yeah, he plays like Derby County. Well, played for Derby County.
That's pretty wise.
Yeah.
Wiseman or Wisdom?
Don't know in the end. Nah, Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay.
Yeah, Wisdom.
I wasn't taking the piss, I was being serious.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure it's an Andre Wiseman.
Nah, neither. That's what taking the piss out of me. Anyway, that's enough name dropping for me. Can we move on to Robbie now?
That's all, but no, well, if we just keep on with you, so you started with Blacktown, went to Liverpool, Stoke, etc. You moved back here, and who did you play with at that point?
Came back and I trained with Bonnyrigg just a few seasons left of the season. Then my first sort of proper team I signed for was RP20s. I think it was like 18 or something like that. Won the 20s comp there, or grand final, premiership, whatever makes the most difference to people. And then after that, signed for Marconi, sort of like a 20s first grade contract. That's when I got my first grade debut. Luke Castley gave me that gig there, top manager. Played a little bit off the bench there. We won something there, which was great. Being involved in a first grade setup for the first time, and first grade, it was a good learning curve for sure. And then after that, Manly, where I spent 9 years.
Wow.
Manly was, and Paul D was your gaffer there, obviously, at one point.
Yeah, not originally. And then Deezer came in and took over for probably 7 of those years.
Was he there for 7 years?
Yeah, something like that.
And who did you have initially? Who's your first gaffer?
A fella called Craig Midgley.
Right,
English fella. He then moved, I think, to Cairns or something, and Deezer came in, took over there for about 7 years.
It's a long time to be at a club, man.
Yeah, mate, great club. So they've got a real sort of family community feel to to what they do there, and an amazing setup. And you know, they wanted to build a brand of football that I respected as well. It wasn't just like I went to a team that was, you know, lower down the ladder and they just wanted to get enough victories to sort of stay afloat. They were willing to invest time into youth, which obviously got me the opportunity to play some regular minutes at a pretty young age, which was important for my career. And yeah, we ended up building a pretty good squad over time from, you know, a team in Manly not being able to recruit many players because of where it was located. We were starting to get some pretty good footballers willing to make the drive. Robbie Speranza being one.
Did you play for Manly as well?
Yeah. We had a year together, and then you know we ended up getting players like Richie Cardozo and Dylan McAllister.
Yeah,
and,
nice.
You know, these are top players that you know back in the day they wouldn't even thought of Manly. So you know, credit to the club and what they put in place. It definitely came to fruition.
What did you win when you were there?
We won the GF in 2017.
That was
and that was their first trophy in like 25 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
With Michael Sama.
Yeah, Sama was there as well. So yeah, no, that was a pretty special moment to be there for such a long time and probably build to something that we didn't think we were potentially ever going to get to.
Yeah.
To win something like that was pretty special.
And
You've
then
won a fair few things, eh? Like it's, I think football is one of those things that people are involved for a long period of time, but you're lucky to win something maybe once or twice.
Yeah,
you know
mate,
what I mean?
yeah. And I was actually saying that to the boys at Rockdale this year that, you know, the position that we're in, especially some of the young lads, I'm like, you shouldn't take this for granted.
Yeah.
There's some real top players that go their full career without winning anything.
Yeah, because you don't hear that when you're young.
No.
You just think
You just think,
see
oh, I'll win
success,
something
you'll win
eventually.
something.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's bloody hard, man.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. My sort of message to especially some of the young lads is like, let's take every minute and don't take this for granted. Don't think we're just going to get something. Like you could, if we don't win anything here, you may not win anything for 6-7 years or anything at all. Like you can't take that
I
for
remember
granted.
when I joined last year, like the first meeting we had, like Chocky like stood up and said, "Boys, like you have to understand this change room is
Did
special."
anyone see you when you stood up?
No, I was just like, I was waving my hands.
on a chair.
Lawn wasn't cut, so I was like, hey, over here.
But yeah, I remember him saying, like, this is a special change room. Like we have a lot of good players, a lot of depth. Like this is a team that can win things and should win things. And then obviously he was backed up. Like he's obviously won a lot of things at a lot of clubs. So you know you can sense it when you're in a change room with.
I mean, it makes a massive difference. I think probably, obviously squads are going to have different characters and that, but having someone who's actually won something, the guy who shows you this is what it's all about, this is how you get over the line, or for instance, pick up the standards. It's not, if you want to win something, this standard's just not good enough. Even just from turning up to training on time, etc. That stuff is sort of hidden arts of really getting a team over the line. But
Yeah.
For sure.
But a lot of the teams, the Marconis, the Appies, they've got them in usually abundance because they're signing a lot of players who have been around the circuit for a while, man.
And I think that was good for us because, you know, players like, you know, Robbie Giorgio had won a lot. We had DC, Collins, Blakey had won stuff overseas as well. So, like, we had a good bunch of players that knew how to win. I think that's so important when you want to win something.
Aye, massive, man. What about you, Robbie?
What about me?
What about you? Career?
So
Let's just start off.
I started in Spirit, like 11s through to 14s.
Yeah.
Me and Chocky played a year together as well.
Oh, I've seen the photos, aye.
Yeah, I've seen that photo. Then spent a couple of years at like Melita, Bankstown. Then went to Marconi in the 20s. Hated my life.
Why?
I was 17, turning 18, and you know you strive to play 20s at that age instead of a second year of 18s. And to be honest, man, I got bullied by my coach. I think it was a prick, right?
Who's the coach?
Darren Yocker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a fuckwit. But anyways.
So, Darren, if you're tuning in, big fella,
You can leave
what's
that in.
ruined this fella's
now.
career?
You can leave that in. I don't know. Then I was lucky enough.
No hard feelings, I guess.
Yeah, Lee Sterry was the.
Hold on, but let's just go back a wee bit. What do you mean bullied you? In what way?
I just felt like I was being picked on a lot. A lot of the boys were, to be honest. A lot of the younger guys, they'd get hammered.
What age group was that, sorry?
Sorry, this was under 20s at Marconi.
Oh, right, okay.
You know what, I actually think that's something that I wouldn't say happens often, but I think there's often people that treat young players very differently
Yeah,
to how
and-
they treat
Aye.
people in
My-
a
I
senior
because they know we're
environment.
getting back sometimes.
And that's what I don't like the fact that, see, if you're going to be that way with 20s, you need to be that way with first grade players.
Yeah.
You can't be different.
Well, I think you can be
because of who
different
it
in
is.
terms of. I think you can be different in terms of how you approach it, but in terms of like that side of things,
Yeah.
But I
you
think-
can't like your tonality and how you're gonna. You can't just be an asshole.
That's what I mean, 100%.
I think leadership comes in a lot of ways. You know
Aye,
what I
aye,
mean?
yeah.
And like, there's a way that certain people need to be spoken to. So some guys might need their head pulled in. Yeah, you give them a spray. But like, if you want to build a good change room, like I'm massive on like I try and make sure that all the young boys feel like they're a part of it too. You know, like I'll try and befriend the youngest bloke in the change room so that way they feel like they're a first grader, and you want them. And if you're trying to get the best out of someone, are you gonna get more out of them by yelling at them, or are you gonna get more out of them by like putting an arm around them? You know, like what are you actually trying to achieve?
Yeah.
It's like me personally, I never spray someone if it's like bad body language or a bad attitude. If you're making a mistake and you keep making that same mistake, like you put an arm around them and say, "Hey, man, like it's obviously not working. Let's do it this way." Like, you know, you show them the way as opposed to ripping in. And I think
He didn't. He just ripped in.
Just an arsehole.
yeah. Like, anyways,
Fair.
that's a long enough story, that one. But yeah, then we had Lee Sterry as first grade coach, and he was amazing at bringing through young players. Like,
Who was that? Sorry.
Lee Sterry.
Right. Okay. I don't know who that is.
So back then, like, well, he gave my brother his debut. He gave me my debut. He gave Danny Choi.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think Mitch Malia.
Okay.
A lot of like decent players in our league have all like Lee Sterry's a guy who goes, yeah, man, like puts a 30-year-old
And
in
where's he now?
20s and puts an 18 guys in first.
Still
grade.
coaching?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think the problem with him is like
He gave you a
he's-
chance. Ruined his
He
career.
got sacked after that. Never came back.
I think a lot of players lose confidence with him because he like hammers you a lot.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
his style of coaching. But a mate like football encyclopedia as a coach, and then he went to Rockdale and brought me and my brother both there and put us on first grade contracts.
Yeah, nice.
Actually made my first grade debut at left wing. Fun fact.
Oh,
for you.
pure pace, huh?
Scored a goal.
Aye, of
Wow.
course. Fullback. 3-5-2 that year.
Must have been.
But yeah, no, it was 3 years at Rockdale. Went to Manly for a year with Deezer. So actually, Deezer was like would have been like the vice captain at Rockdale. His last year of first grade was my first year of first grade. I was 18. He was 37.
Yeah.
And I said look up to him, man. Like the way he spoke in the change room, like
Was he a good player?
yeah,
Aye.
big, strong, aggressive, good on the ball.
Survivor, would you?
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Yeah. Proper.
But yeah, I remember like he'd make talks at training about, you know, like we'd be having a bit of a slump. He'd talk to the boys before training. I'd come out like, man, I got goosebumps and shit. Like, it's like a Wednesday night. Like, bro, can you save that for the weekend? Like, I don't want that now. Like, it's just like a mad motivator. So yeah, he went to Manly, and then I was looking at getting out of Rockdale because I was a rotation. You know, I was used against the physical teams, and I was coming on against teams that we knew we'd bop. So I wanted to be a full-time starting player and stuff. He went to Manly, brought me there. Then the travel was too much. Went to Melita for a year, and then Blacktown for a few years. My brother.
Blacktown City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won a grand final there and had some good FFA Cup runs there. Went to Marconi 5 years, won the Waratah there, and then Rockdale again.
Actually, he's both won. I felt so. You won the Waratah Grand Final League.
This league was actually important for me because I have my trophy collection, and that's the one medal
That's why he's
I'm
wearing it.
missing.
There's no room in the cabinet, mate. He has to wear it.
No, now I've got the complete
His cabinet,
set.
mate. Well, you put in your wardrobe, there's no t-shirts in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can retire on that now. Now I know I've
Is there,
completed
is
the
there,
set.
this is not a piss take, but is there a minimum? Obviously, professionally, you need a minimum appearances to get a medal. How many appearances did you make last year? I'm not taking the piss. I know you were injured.
In first grade,
6, man.
I think it was
6 or 7.
6 starts. I think.
6
I think I
starts.
was off the bench 2
Yeah.
games, and then
Is it so you
a
can just
couple in the cup.
do you
went
need
to
to
that.
play like a certain percentage of the season to get a medal, or just like
I think I'm not sure. Though.
I'm actually not too sure.
Yeah.
There is a rule.
think-
I don't know what the rule is.
I think
was
the
it
way
14
it works,
professional or something like that?
I think the way it works is you get a certain number of medals.
Yeah, there is.
So it's not
This
like,
is funny,
So,
man.
sorry, mate.
It was literally like that. We got to, I think, like 30 medals, yeah?
Yeah.
Blake Rashuda was at the end, like, being nice to some of the other young lads. This one fella, I don't even think he played for a minute for first grade. He's charging up there, got a medal on, and Blake just sitting at the back, didn't end up getting one. Mate, he came in, like, I think he literally got one in, like, December. Blake as well sent him one.
yeah, you get a
So,
certain
But
number.
do you keep your medals?
do I keep them?
Aye.
Only the gold ones.
Aye.
My silver one's gone in the
Every
back
medal
row.
I've ever had, I've just.
Do you know what? My mum keeps them.
Toss
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
I
my
got.
mum's got like everything that I won when I was younger.
I just
and
kept it in a drawer for me. And I'm like, what?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm never going to ever.
Yeah, I think I've got them in a drawer somewhere. Yeah,
Aye.
big drawer, but.
No, mine are all on show in my gym. I've got like shelves
That's a
put
good
in
place to
and-
put them, to be fair.
Yeah.
If you can say that.
Yeah, that's class, man. Well, that's so this year. I'll be. No, what we're going to talk. You want to talk about the team? Who do you support?
In like pro
Yeah,
footy.
just-
But I'm a big Barca fan.
Barcelona fan.
Just because
Hey,
I
some
started
game this morning, 5-4.
crazy, huh?
5-4.
I didn't say. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the
He scored
highlights.
the
And watched it
penalty in the
live,
95th minute or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
check the
checked
score.
it was 3-1 to Benfica.
Rafinha, man. Yeah.
I heard that you are more into your NRL than your football.
Nah, man.
Your
I watch. Nah.
you pick your fantasy team and
Oh,
everything.
I have a muck around with Supercoach. I'm a big fantasy guy, sports fantasy, easy. So I do like basketball fantasy and like EPL fantasy, and I just muck around on a bit of NRL Supercoach.
Right,
I'm just
okay.
big on the stats and stuff like stats of
Oh,
sport.
I've heard about your stats.
Yeah.
What's The one that gives you the results, the app for the NPL.
Sofa score. Is it?
Chucky actually funds it.
I've been told that multiple times.
Man,
They're rated like 9.4.
Man, why'd you even
out
bring me on? You're getting all these stories from everyone else. I don't even need to be here. Stitch up.
Choco McStay, they actually own that.
Yeah, so it was a bit of an ongoing joke last year where I think it was actually Danzo stumbled across the app, I think, where it was just like it showed like player ratings in NPL, which by the way is like unbelievable. Like, mate, with the stats, it even shows like players' heat maps.
It'd
and
be
stuff.
even better if it was accurate.
Yeah, well, some people say it's accurate. I'll get to that. Yeah, and once we started jumping on it, I ended up having some decent like match ratings from games and that sort of stuff. So the lads were the inside joke was that I'm the owner of the app because I just kept on pumping myself. Great scores. Like when we lost 9-0 to Marconi, everyone was red in our team, and I had like a green 7.1. I was like, man, investors have some access, So yeah, that was a bit of an inside joke.
I wonder how accurate it actually is, though. I'm not saying
on the stat stuff, I think it actually is accurate. I don't know how they formulate the player ratings.
You might get it for Y Scout because Y Scout is pretty much open to the public.
Yeah.
So you could get it off Y Scout.
So I think like. Again, I've been
coding, right?
Yeah, I think it's like I was about to say. I think it's like an AI that just like somehow watches a match and records it. I don't know how I don't know if those player ratings are how they're calculated, if they're accurate or not. But the stats are accurate, so it shows like how many shots you've had and like if they're on target, like that's all accurate. So that sort of stuff. So and it shows like good team stats. Like I think we'll be watching a lot of that to show how we could be better and the types of goals we were conceding or where we were scoring our goals. It's pretty good. Yeah,
I think anyone with half a brain could tell you you're scoring goals from Jurasevski.
Yeah, true. Inside the box, just give it to him, he'll do the damage.
But they also do get things that like are wrong too. Like
of course,
I used to watch them back, and like I'll be in a header, and then it would go to the opposition player. Like there'd be another contest, and I get like a missing pass.
Oh, he's actually proper tracking
minute.
it, don't you?
I used to watch him. I used to watch him, be like, nah, man, they aren't.
That's like a completed pass.
As a missed pass for me, bro. I literally got up and like won that header. Like it was a good header.
Well, there's a feedback form on our website if you.
And even G's the worst throw-in taker in the universe.
Yeah, he's bad.
Like I've never seen anyone take a throw-in worse than him. And he's been playing left back his whole life. So you feel like in the back corner, like Robbie, like dummy half. I'm like, yeah, no worries. And so I'll put it up the back and I'll take the throw in for him. And then if we lose the next header, that's a missed pass for me.
Oh, so you're not taking throw-ins anymore?
Yeah, well, eventually I was like, nah, bro. Like I need my stats higher. Like the coach is gonna drop me.
Yeah,
like,
just throw it to someone in your team, mate. That's why it's not a complete pass. You throw it to the opposition. What do you mean?
And what team do you support?
Juventus.
Oh, okay, Juventus.
Yeah, they haven't been great, have they, this year?
They had like 13 draws, 7 wins, undefeated there.
And drew this morning as well with Club Brugge.
Yeah, again.
13 draws. Isn't that Italian, mate? Undefeated. Only won 7 matches.
Best defense in the league. Can't score goals.
Wow.
Yeah, I was born in a Juventus shirt. My dad told everyone. He put me when I was in the cot.
Oh, so you're a proper Juve fan? Huh?
Yeah.
That's good. So a lot of Australians we ask, especially kids as well, like who do you support? And producer Julian said the same thing this morning. In what league? And I'm like, I can't get on board. I just it's very.
Look, it's when you ask me, I had to have a think about it because like with the team I started watching when I grew up was Barca. That's why I'd say I'm a Barca fan, but
Liverpool.
No, I'm an Arsenal guy. Yeah, so like in the Prem, like I'm an Arsenal guy. But like if Arsenal play Barcelona, I'm supporting Barca.
Yeah,
but with so much EPL on these days and
it's why team you follow.
Yeah, man, it's easy to watch, and I play the fantasy league in EPL as well. So that's why it's probably a tricky question these days. Yeah.
A lot of kids are like, I'm a massive PSG fan. I'm like, what about the game this morning? What game?
Who was
PSG?
But you get kids turning up to things with like a PSG shorts on. Real Madrid top and a Man City hat.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Well, even like all of them now rocking like the Ronaldo Saudi kid or like the Inter Miami. Come on, man. What are we doing?
I don't mind if, obviously, I think there's like a cut-off age if you're like 18. Too much.
18, that's a good gap. So you tell me at 17, if I'm an Arsenal supporter, City's doing all right, just jump to City.
No. I'm saying as in like 18. 17's still in the same bracket, but there's a cut-off, like maybe 12, it might be 18, it might be 15, but... Yeah. Young kids, like 9-year-olds,
that's all right.
Enjoy yourself, but the older lads.
Look, I'm still a kid collector though. I still like I have all my kids at home.
No, I'm not saying I collected. I've got like an AC Milan top, but I mean, like you say, who do you support? You support one team.
You support one team.
You support one team, and that's it. Otherwise, you're just a football fan, which is nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
But don't then jump on the bandwagon when.
Yeah, for
sure. I'm a massive Arsenal fan. No.
So on the back of obviously that, looking at careers as a whole. Best and worst players you've played with? Now I'm asking you to call people out here.
You can't, not including your Liverpool days, obviously.
that we've played with.
And you're asking worst we've played with too.
Best we
Wow.
played with, and it could be in different ways. You could be like, he's an arsehole to play with. Like, hated playing with him. He might be class, but whatever you boys want. It's your show, lads. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
You can go first. I'm having a little
He's
think.
shiting himself.
Best
I'm trying
player.
to think who I want to rip into.
Best player. Can I do a top 3 for best player?
I ain't going.
Richie Cardozo was a weapon.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Richie Cardozo was a freak. Dylan McAllister was another one that just I really enjoyed playing with, like a big target man that I could bounce off, different style of play, and then obviously Euro too, man.
Yep.
Like a different type of striker, but just they're all great in their own different ways. Well, Richie was sort of like I played him. I was a 10, he was a 9 at Manly as well. So 3 of those were, very different plays, but all unbelievable in their own different ways. And probably hard to pick top 3. They've played with a lot of really good players. But if I had to pick, especially because I'm like a 10 and those boys are 9s, that's probably the best connection I had with some of them.
Yep. Get your sofa score up a little bit, doesn't it?
That's it, mate. I'll give it to good players. They score. I get me some
Completed
points.
pass.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to hold it up.
That's it. Worst player.
It can be as harsh as you want. Oh, whatever. Harsher better, obviously.
It's going to be me, eh?
No.
Say Robbie at training on a Tuesday.
I'd probably say Chris Payne. A great player. He was just, I just didn't like the way he went about sort of the way he wanted to score goals, and that
What
probably
did he do?
just. Sorry.
How did he go about it?
It was just, I don't know. It's more about, if there was
He'd suck if you didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, and like if a player's on for a better option, he may shoot.
okay.
And look, everyone makes those decisions and that sort of stuff. It's just, we probably just didn't have the best relationship towards the end of his spell there at Manly. I think he's a great goal scorer. I think he's a good player. Just if I had to pick one, and you guys put a bit of pressure on me, so I had to name one.
I'm happy with that. That's good.
Yeah.
I got a funny one about Paney. So he was playing at United a couple of years back, and like me and him have been good friends since we played at Manly. Like every time I say, "Hey, Paney, how you going?" But I think I offended him because they're one of their guys.
By calling friends, by calling you friends.
Yeah, I still think we're friends, but I don't know if he does. We didn't say hi to him anymore.
Nah.
The Jap bloke elbowed me in the mouth, and he's tried to walk away. I'm like, what was that, bro? Like, sort of grabbed him a bit, and he's come in and give me a bit of push and shove. Like, Paney's coming. I'm like, what are you pushing me for? And he's saying stuff like, oh, go and do this, and you're all about your brother and blah blah blah. And he started saying that, and I'm like, what's wrong, Quiz? You in pain? And then he started getting more fiery and blowing up, and I think that makes me calmer. And then after that, I've clotheslined him and got a yellow. It was.
Makes me calmer. Then I clotheslined them.
Yeah. Average challenge. And then the photo came up on, it got sent to me. I'm like, how good is that? So I put it on my story and I tagged him. And then he didn't reshare it. It was seen. No, and then since then he's not said hi to me anymore. But I thought it was all banter, Paney. Hopefully we're still friends.
Poor Penny's listening to this. He's been called the worst player. He's been clotheslined, publicly shamed.
Yeah, it was a good turn, but he sort of ran over the ball, and I thought I did have a little foot on it.
Don't
but
give
it
him a
didn't,
compliment.
and
You said he's a dog. You said he's a dog. Let's leave it at that.
if you give him a yellow card, it means he missed your challenge.
Is he
Right?
playing
But you
as-
get a
is-
ball or leg.
You put
Oh,
did
man.
you not play him now?
Yeah, I played him. I quite like him.
he's a great
And look, to be fair, when he first came to Manly, we got on really well. We actually had I think it was the second year that I think we sort of maybe just fell out with each other a little bit. But yeah, and then towards the end, then it just got really sour, and then probably did
Is
some
he playing
things.
this year?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I
Was it
think,
back
I,
then?
think,
I
I think he
thought
hung him.
he
Yeah, I
retired,
think he hung him.
He's always good every time he played against him. Thought he was decent.
Yeah,
And
it's
who's
good
what about your 3, 2, 1?
I've got a few top players, eh?
Just give us 3 maximum.
Give you 3. I used to love hanging with Michael Sama.
Yeah, freak.
When
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
at
yeah.
Melita, we had a bad side.
Yep.
Half overweight, half over 35. Man, I don't know how we set it up that year, but literally, I get the ball right back, and I'd look at 3 options around me. I'd be like, nah, man,
No, you give it to him.
I'm thinking this to Sama with 3 blokes around
Yeah,
him,
he
and
was
he'll
tops.
just hold players up, scoop people in, win fouls, scream, dive. Every time I played against him, I hated it too, because I used to call, we still call each other once a week. I wouldn't call him for a month after, because he'd be in my head.
Yeah.
He'd be like, Robbie, I'm too smart for you. And I'm like, bro, I'll smash you. And he's like, go, show me your tricks and stuff. And I'm like, I want to get you. And I try and get him, boom, he dive. Ref, hold the ball.
That's good, but dark
Mate,
arts.
Yeah,
do
dark
me.
arts, yeah.
Then you got Mitch Malia, who...
Yeah,
He's good. I think
yeah.
he's brilliant, man.
Man, that guy,
So-
L2,
so
R3. Have you seen
calm, man.
FIFA?
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
just wiggle the stick, you don't know what trick you're doing? That's him, man. He
He's just
invents
so
tricks.
Siffy's doing it in slow motion, and
Yeah, he's so
how's no
calm
one
on it.
tackling him?
And he's
Yeah.
so quick off the mark. There's another one. I remember getting the ball for throwing at Blacktown. I look around, I'm like, man, there's no options. He's double marked. I'm like, I remember saying it out loud, fuck it, give it a go, Mitchie. And I just throw it to his feet, and he'll just wriggle his way out. And if I need to win a tackle, I'll win it for him. And then, obviously Euro, Danny Choi. There's a lot of honourable mentions.
Troy was
What about worst?
Worst? I'm going to go with another very good player, but I'll go with similar lines as you, as players who like disrupt change rooms and stuff. I think Frangie was like, I've never seen someone have more fights with players in a change room. I remember one was the best. So he's come off the bench one day, like, again, amazing football. Like his technical ability, like, man,
the guy's be X factor
scored
a bit,
bombs
man.
from 40 yards, and he has everything in his locker. That best overhead kick, like,
That's a world of that, aye.
man, what a player. But he just liked to push people's buttons. So he got into a fight once with Connor, with Zach, with my brother, with Nenad, but the Nenad one was the best. So he's come off the bench, right wing, and then I can't even get this out. Nenad's like had a go at him for not tracking back. Like, you're fresh, fucking get back. And he's like, oh, shut up, bro. And he goes, shut up. And Nenad's like 30 plus, Frangie's 21. He goes, fucking get back, blah, blah, blah. Then we're getting to change him after. And Nenad's saying to him, bro, like, you know, I understand you're frustrated, you know, you didn't start, blah, blah, but like if an older player told me back when I was younger, like they'd knock me out. He goes like, don't show that disrespect, blah, blah. And he's not going to say, he's like, oh, shut up, bro. And he goes, bro, say it one more time. He says, shut up, bro. And like, and by the way, everyone's naked because we're all in the showers and shit.
I haven't seen that one. Or naked wrestling.
Nenad's gone after him. Fucking like people are trying to separate it. There's like pushing and shoving. Like I would call it jersey jabs. There's no jerseys in there. Like people are trying to get to each other. Then
Grabbing
Dion,
everything they can.
Dion top ones.
Marconi
Dion's
type
like,
group, huh?
Dion's going, I'll kill you. And like he's trying to get through, and I'm in the shower. Like it was just like dongs hanging everywhere. Like everyone's swinging around. I'm like, what the hell is
Why are
happening
you on
here?
these, Robbie?
just
But yeah, man, like in terms of watching a player who gets into a lot of of mischief, Frangie's the guy.
You can see it on the pitch as well sometimes.
Yeah.
If he's not winning or things not going his way, his head goes. But he's got that wee bit of magic about him.
he has,
X Factor. Yeah.
He's a good player.
And then looking at best coach wise.
Oh, aye.
Oh, the old man's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've had Deezer for bloody
It's hard to
9,
pick
10
one.
years. Yeah.
Yep.
But look, fair play. I think I had Luke Casserly one year at Marconi. Gave me a debut. He's a great coach too, man.
Yeah.
Just great man management. Got the game so well. Yeah, I highly rated him too, to be fair. Look, I've been fairly blessed with most coaches. Not that I've had a huge amount, just because of the way my career went, been at Manly for such a long time. But yeah.
One for you?
I've had a couple of good ones again. Like I had Branko Kalina, Mark Rudin, they
Oh,
were both
aye.
cracker.
Yeah.
And Branko like helped shape my whole career. I think it was proper. Like,
Is that who you blame?
no, he's the one that made me actually reach something. He was an encyclopedia. Like the amount I learnt of him was unbelievable. Credo, unbelievable man manager and amazing for the change room. And now obviously Deezer and Stav and Ved's like unbelievable combo. They got the perfect balance of everything.
That's good.
But now Stav's gone to Victor, which is a massive
Oh,
loss.
sorry,
for
has
us.
that's
Yeah.
right. Aye.
Yeah, massive loss.
What? So that's a full-time gig, obviously. Doing it. Is it? Is he? What is he doing? More
I
analyst
think,
stuff?
assistant coach, no?
Yeah,
Assistant
Yeah,
coach,
assistant
is it?
coach gig, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
Stav,
yeah.
I'm free, mate, if you want to get me in for a 6-month loan.
Who's the gaffer at Victory?
Dillis. Arthur Dillis, isn't it?
That's
Something
Arthur
like-
Dillis.
Yeah.
Aye, good luck to him. That's good. And so this year, 2025, we won't go into too much depth. Obviously, it's still pre-season, but how you boys finding pre-season so far? How he's looking? I know you've signed a few boys. The one who I think is I think Chris McStay's a great player.
Yeah,
I think he's a really, really good player. I thought Wills, he was always a guy who reminds me of like a midfielders you don't really get a lot anymore. Box to box, he can score goals, he can get in the box, he can defend, he can spray a pass. There's not a lot of those midfielders about anymore. So I think he's a really good signing. And who else have you signed off the top of my
Ollie
head?
Pufflet.
Ollie Pufflet. Aye, decent player, but I don't think is he better than what's went out, do you think?
You'd be surprised with Puff, man. Puff, I think, has had probably a tough run of it last couple of years just at Olympic. When I was at Olympic, he was actually getting some decent minutes. I think he really fits probably our model where, you know, obviously we've got players like Euro, Moody Najar, and the other one, I think, top signing.
Cracking signing.
Where, you know, they're sort of, they can just pull a rabbit out of a hat. I think Puff, not saying you can't do that, but Puff's like, you know what you're going to get from him. He's very reliable. He's going to do the hit the KPIs. Like if he gets to the byline 3 times and puts in 3 great crosses, like job done, tracks well. So I think he sort of really fits what we're doing quite well. So I tip Puff to have a really good year this year, man. I think once he gets fit, plays consistently, I think he can be really impactful for us.
Yeah. It's good.
And on your point with Chrissy's class, man, like you said, he's sort of does a little bit of everything in that 8 role. And obviously Dean was exceptional for us last year and really hard to replace a player like that. But if you had to probably pick someone that did a lot of things similarly, like could defend well, like Dean, could play some really good forward passes and can get in the box. Like Chrissy's probably the closest thing that you'll find potentially across the whole league. So it was a good natural fit for us to pick Chrissy up. And I think one of the things that we've tried to build at Rockdale, speaking on behalf of the coaching staff, is actually pick the human before maybe the player. Like I think we've really tried to focus on building a real positive culture and getting in some good lads that we feel like would fit the change room. Obviously, it helps if they're a decent player too. But I think that's what a lot of the coaching. That's it.
Get Frangie and Chrissy Payne in.
Yeah, bring them both in and we'll be fine. Yeah, that's it.
And you have saying, how's you say?
as well.
That's right. Can we say a couple of red cards in the bank? Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Suspended till round 6, I think he is.
Seriously, actually, he's
It
suspended.
was a good stomper. That one on JT. What was it, round 30 last year? You know?
Yeah, he got him good.
Yeah, he would have a few ribs
He got
in
him
that
good.
one.
Yeah, it's funny as like you expect Matty to come in and be some crazy madman. He's like nicest kid, eh?
Yeah, I did not
like pretty
expect
quiet,
that, eh?
like just nice, absolute. Like everyone's tall for me, but this guy's a giant.
Huge,
Like,
huge,
had the duck to get in the sheds, like and I think he's shown it. Outside of probably some of the Reds, he's shown some pretty good glimpses of football over the past. Yeah.
Carries him to midfield. Like, man, I rate him.
So this year, obviously won the league last year, big achievement. Backing it up. Has that been done before? 2 leagues in a bounce?
Has.
Yep. Who done that?
I think it was done 7 times over the past 40 years. I could have done some stats on that, as I told the lads in pre-season.
7 times
that,
last.
Wasn't it doing the double? Oh no, sorry. I meant grand final.
Yeah, no, there was another stat on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think over the past 40 years there was about maybe it was 5 or 6. You're making me doubt myself now. It was about 5 or 6. So it's gone back
it's
to
been
back.
happened a few times.
Yeah, it happened a few times, but not as regularly as you think. Like,
And
I don't
what
think
about
it's
the
easy to
fight?
do.
What about the
double?
The double? How's that happened a lot?
And I think the last one was Olympic. Yeah,
I think Olympic done it twice.
Yeah.
2014 and 19 or something
Yeah,
like that, maybe.
But that's probably about the same. About I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 over the past 40 or so years. Checking back on the records.
Okay, so it gives you something to aspire to. Obviously, double would be your aspirations considering last year, or treble if you want to include the
Yeah.
Water.
Oh man, I think
A treble would be good for my comeback as well.
Yeah,
that'd
be decent.
Bring it back next year.
You'd have a sore neck.
bit of bling.
So how do you think you can improve upon last year? Because obviously you won the league, but if you're going to go for try and win the treble, Water Cup, Apia, Grand Final, Marconi, what do you think you've got this year that you didn't have last year that allow you to do that?
To be fair, I think we've done really well with the recruitment this year.
Yep.
Obviously, we've lost some good players. Some boys, obviously, Dino getting an A-League gig.
Yeah.
H midway through the year, Harrison getting an A-League gig. And
He's doing well, man.
mate,
he's
a top
really
keeper,
well.
man. Top keeper. Great guy too. And then obviously some boys that, since we were doing so well, good players, but just probably couldn't break into the team that naturally you're probably going to lose after a season, like Yinka Bay, like good players, but just like when the team's going so well, hard to break in. So even though we lost some talent, I think we've recruited quite well to either replace or maybe slightly improve on either our depth or quality. So I think we're in a pretty good position, but I don't know. I think I'm a big believer of, and this is what I think helped us last year, was just focusing on game by game. Like we established a footballing model that just allowed us to go out there and play a brand of footy that, if we did the right things, could get us results. And I think if we just focus on doing that, then we could find ourselves in a similar position to last year where, we could be near the top of the table. We could be in some finals. And I think when you get to that, then you let the rest take course.
Obviously, media trained at Liverpool. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Like, games
decent.
like
Decent that. So, looking at, obviously, you'll have heard of transfers, etc., going on at other NPL1 clubs. If you're looking at competition, who do you think is signed well to be, like, let's say, a main sort of challenger for you?
I think United have recruited well.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sure,
I'm not across the rumours and that, but you probably know a little bit more.
Prendergast went in.
Chabelle went there.
Shabao.
Did they? Yeah,
Michael
alright.
they signed
Classic
that.
as well.
Classic went there.
They signed that Hills United for Mako.
Yeah, he's not
Thomas
bad actually.
Mako.
Leroy
Yeah,
Jennings is back playing, is he not?
Yeah,
Who?
Leroy Jennings is
He's
back.
back.
Yeah,
Imagine
Jennings back as
Ah,
well.
yeah.
But
He's
that
yeah.
Mako against us at
He's
Hills,
tidy,
Yeah.
man. He's a tidy player.
They
right
were
behind.
an
Thomas
average
Mako,
side
the
last
yeah,
year,
yeah.
but
top
that Mako,
player,
man,
man.
he used to carry the ball through midfield, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
this
And then
guy's
obviously
dribbling our
Yeah,
players.
yeah. He was good, man.
Good X factor there.
Ante Juric has obviously went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good coach
which
too.
is
Oh, it
massive.
depends who you ask.
True.
Bench me for a full year Olympic. Nah,
yeah.
actually, not a bad coach.
But you
actually.
want a grand final.
Yeah,
and
true.
a league,
No,
so, like,
100%.
you got-
No.
you gotta
Like,
give
obviously, the
credit
result.
where it's due,
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
keeping on the theme of next year. So like I said to you before, off air, that we're going to go through each team, and you can just tell us what do you think either title contenders, playoff contenders, call it, or will it be in a relegation battle? Obviously, people are going to fall in between that, but what do you think they're going to be most likely to do? Right.
Yeah,
so you can just decide between these. So Apia,
Yeah, title contenders.
Yeah, of course.
Sure, yeah.
Contenders.
Blacktown City,
title.
Honestly, with Critter, you can put 12 bananas on the field and
He'll get him in the top.
That's
5.
too many players, but too many bananas.
True.
Sorry, 11 would be good enough.
Central Coast Mariners,
Bad relegation.
Rello, yeah.
Manly.
They've recruited well, man. I reckon they could be fighting for a final spot. I think they've done quite well,
I
yeah.
think they're battling
Who's
relegation.
brought in?
You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, they brought in, apparently got some fella from Inter Miami. Like under 23s, like a foot. Has he turned up? I don't know if he's turned up.
I think he's there. We've seen the footage of him, I remember.
He's training with like Messi and Suarez and stuff.
Wow.
Is he? Aye.
Yeah, straight up, yeah. He was in the under 23s, yeah. That's what I was speaking to Kex and he said that, like, that's...
They got a couple of ACLs, I think, early on in pre-season.
Oh,
two boys got
did
in
they?
the same session. Aye. Some 2 freak injuries.
Do you know who? Yeah.
Yanis Freck, who's like a 20... he played for us a little bit last year. He's the guy who got sent off the throw-in.
Oh, is he?
Aye. And then... I don't know the other lads.
That's
Yeah.
a shame, man.
Ah,
Yeah,
terrible,
that's
man.
sad to hear that
Terrible,
pre-season
man.
too.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how severe the whole thing was, but 2 in the same session apparently, which is tough, man. It's such a shame, man.
No, I don't think there'll be relegation, man. You'll be surprised.
I don't know
Also
if
at
they're
home.
recruited, but I just think, like, if they have Harry McCarthy playing again,
Yeah,
maybe
he is-
different
he is-
story, because he's a cracker player.
Yeah,
Ah,
and
he's a good
they got Kex. I think
Yeah.
Kex has sort of found himself a
He was
good
very
home.
good last year, Kicks.
Yeah, he found a good home at
maybe.
Manly.
I
He's
don't
been, mate, I don't think
I'm
he'll be
unsure.
relegation. I think they'll be
Yeah,
sort of mid.
mid-table.
Yeah.
Mid-table's not an option, unfortunately. So we're
Oh,
going to
okay.
relegation battle or
So
playoffs.
he's a relegation. Back myself.
Marconi,
Yeah,
the top, of course.
title
Title
winners.
Mount, Druitt,
Relegation, I think.
Relegation
Yeah.
contenders, yeah.
Spirit. Careful.
They're dark horse.
Dark horse.
Mate, you guys are some of the 2 best Japs in the league.
For UK and
Yuki
UK,
and
Yukubu
true.
and Yukubu
and
and
Wollongong
Taki.
guy, yeah, like,
Yeah, he's
man,
good, man. I feel
both
for-
Fuck, I
cracking
think he's
players,
good.
I like
and
him, yeah.
Spirit's problem, I think, has been scoring goals for a while. And now you got 2 guys who can bang in goals. That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Mikey kind of
Thanks,
star bar
Ross.
rate.
Well, that's pretty much our front 3. Taki, Mikey and
Yeah,
That's good front 3, man.
Kubu's very good.
As long as you guys don't cop goals, I think that's your main thing now. Is
I-
Subby's still around, yeah?
Subby still on. We got Brady Smith, who was just come back from Cambodia. Jamie Perchevsky, who was at Blacktown Spartans.
Yeah. He was at us. He was at
Big
us a
boy,
couple of years
yeah.
ago.
That's right. So he was. That's right. And we've got Big Subby, Simon Nicholas as well, and then we've got Jordan Perez, left back. He was playing overseas. He was like I think he played under 18s or 20s for Australia or whatever. Right back, we've got Anthony Eunice, and then we've got midfielder American boy Frankie, and then Corey Kavanagh. Then that's our front 3. But we've got
Solid,
we've
man.
definitely player for player this year. I think how we start round 1 versus last year, we've got 13 new players.
Wow.
So it's a big difference from some of the boys were at the club last year, but maybe injuries or whatever. So we start the squad, start the season stronger, but it's only
And
gonna
Wiggsy will be back when?
Wiggs will be back, probably window.
Chucky's hoping for it.
No, mate.
Window probably.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
he's not going to be back in season, and obviously contract wise.
Yeah.
So I think season he's a big miss, obviously.
Yeah, top player, man.
Top player, man. Right. So what you saying?
They'll be
finals contender.
Yeah, finals contender. Is
What,
that
is
is
it
that an
top
option, mate?
6?
Is that
No, is
right?
that
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
I use are citing yourselves a wee bit. You didn't be nice because he's at Spirit.
No.
No, they're good
I've
squad.
been telling everyone. I'm very open with my opinion.
St George City.
Is City the one that Barton Park, or is
No,
that?
that's FC.
No,
So
that's
Bay's FC, and then FA is the one that Spanner's taken over. That Kamaleski.
So you're asking FA?
I'm St George City.
Yeah, FA. That's FA.
I'm confused
I
all
think
the
they'll be
time,
near relegation.
Really? I reckon they'll be a finals contender, but I wouldn't be surprised by either.
The last St George are in.
Shock in your face there.
I don't know rumours, man. Like maybe.
No, they
So
lost
George-
their biggest centre back, and Kamaleski came to us. So
That's what I mean.
it's a big loss.
And they lost Romero and they lost Presley Ortiz midway through the year.
Yeah.
Unless if signed
Send
players.
Dakota. Dakota Askew.
Yeah.
Oh, they signed him.
Aye.
Oh, he's a decent.
Relegation
player.
battle still.
He's not gonna win.
Right, okay, St George FC. I love St George Bay's one.
Rodic, yeah.
I think they'll maybe finish higher than the other St George.
mid-table.
There's no mid-table option, mate.
I know. What I tell him, Brenda, sort
So
it
it's
out.
either 14th, like 15th,
So
or
you're
6th.
going to
Like
more
nothing
likely to be
between 7 and
relegated or
14.
more likely to get in the playoffs?
They're
More
more,
likely
they're
to-
more likely to be relegated, but that's
Okay.
a harsh one on them.
That's rough.
That's just
I
the
don't think
game,
they'll be there.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fair.
Sutherland,
Rello.
Bottom, yeah,
Sydney FC,
bottom.
Rello.
Sydney Olympic,
Finals.
Nah, Rello, man.
Rello.
I think I lost a lot of players
Sydney United,
Up the top.
up top.
title
Title
contenders,
contenders.
Wanderers,
Rello.
Finals pushing.
Wolves.
Rello.
Rello.
But they won't
Closer
make
to Rello than finals.
Yeah.
It's a silly game, but anyway.
10th.
He's stressed over there.
I think 14 teams in relegation battle. How does this work, mate?
No, that's because you don't. I don't think
no,
you're
no,
making
you
top
know
No,
what?
no,
five.
unless a relegation, more likely to
No,
get
I know,
relegated
yeah,
than
if you
in
have to
the
pick top or
playoffs.
bottom,
Like
I
you
get
got your
that.
6 big clubs, right?
Yeah, mid-team's a
Rockdale,
cop-out,
Blacktown,
mid-team's a
Harvey,
cop-out.
Marconi,
Yeah.
Sydney
I
Olympic
actually think,
United.
though, what tends to happen is there's a top 4,
It's
5,
true.
6.
Yeah.
And then there's a gap.
Yeah,
And then
And
there's-
then the rest are quite
True.
That's why
quite
there's a
close,
big
man.
6 clubs, and
Yeah.
then you get like a couple of teams who'll hit a random form. I
Yeah.
think Manly
Yeah,
kind of won the
true.
league. You're going like,
100%, but
Yeah.
then there's always a gap, and
Yeah.
then it's like the maybe 4, 5, 6 that will get into the last 2, 3, 4 rounds of the
Do you
season.
want me to write up next week's session, eh? Yeah?
We're going to do a wee daft quiz at the end.
All right.
So last year we did our first episode with Richie Darko before the season started, and we did a wee quiz at the end just to see NPL knowledge basically, because obviously Chaz and I, two Scottish guys, not got a clue. And we thought, let's see what the players know, and Richie had an absolute shambles. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 questions.
You'll laugh when you read one of the questions.
Okay, you do them separately, and then we'll do the answers, reveal the answers one
Yeah,
by one.
done.
Right? Okay. So the first
No
question.
peeking.
They're not
They need to.
that challenging the questions. So the first question, from each division, NPL 1, 2, and 3, who was the team that was promoted and who was the team that was relegated
from last year.
Yeah.
from last year?
Can I pick both teams or one team?
Yeah, no, we want.
Because some teams,
All-
some leagues had
all
2,
the
some leagues had 1.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Easier.
Can I?
We have.
Richie Darko didn't even know the teams in NPL 3.
So that's coming up this year.
Yeah.
The teams that have come up this year and the teams that went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we just named one of them for the NPL 1, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I can't remember who won NPL 1. Top scorer on each league. You used the same question?
Exact same as last year.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, two of them are.
That's
Super.
it. But
Is
then the NPL 2 and NPL 3 in that one, they won't know.
But that one's a bit daft.
I know, but that was the same question we asked last year.
Ah, right, okay.
He's done.
Done? Right, okay, cool. And then we're going to go...
He's
start-
terrified.
Don't pick Chucky.
Right.
I don't
so-
mind Granville Rage. I reckon they had a good season last year. Did they get promoted?
I don't know, that's up to you to decide, buddy.
I listen to the podcast every week. Todorowski and Tomi's getting pumpers like, oh yeah, man, they won the league. For
Don't mind the
sure.
Rage.
Right, so now top scorer in each league. And if you want a wee cheeky bonus point, if you can figure out who scored the most out of all 3 leagues, we'll give you a bonus point. This is the last section of the show, mate, so you can de-stress after this. You've done 2 for each year?
I just put if you wanted to do bonus, so you could rate who came second, and then
We've got who scored the most, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, is that how many he scored? Jesus. Are you
I'll
done?
I'll even tell you how many goals each of them scored, I reckon.
Oh,
Mate, you are so busy, eh? Did you tell them this quiz before starting? Or what?
I have an idea, I reckon. I love football.
good man.
I'm interested.
Hey, keep at it, mate, play a game.
Football isn't designed for over 30s, man. That's the problem. Over 30s, his knees don't work anymore.
Right, okay, what is the name of Nepean's home ground?
I know this one.
We're using,
So happy.
we're using the same questions as last year, so...
Exact same quiz Richie got.
I thought this was the first episode ever for you fellas, huh?
Sounds like it. Okay, this, if you don't get this, then you're in
There's a
trouble.
problem.
Who was the 2 teams in the final of the Waratah Cup last year?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could see where you were sitting in the stand, Robbie, who the other team was, but
You know, that day was the day I found out I did my ACL.
that was the day you done it.
Yeah,
that-
so
that
thanks,
day I
mate.
found
Made him
out.
feel real good.
Tuesday night, tried training, couldn't turn. I'm like, what's wrong with me?
rough.
You actually
Got
remember
the
that,
scan,
hey?
man.
You weren't too
Oh.
sure. You were like, I'm not
that's right,
sure.
well,
Should I train? Shouldn't I train? Yeah.
Right. Oh, this one's a gimme.
I know, man.
Chris Payne is playing for which club next season? That was not even planned. That's
That's why I didn't answer.
Yeah. All right.
you said don't know.
Aye.
Right. Okay, so he might be playing with somebody.
Aye,
Pick a different
Okay.
club.
Do you know the answer to this?
I know the answer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? No. Oh,
Shaky. Shaky. Right, okay, so both finished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Chaz, you can keep the scores.
Yeah.
Right, so promoted and relegated. Who's your 3 promotions? Brenda?
Bulls and Druitt. Didn't Bulls get relegated?
Incorrect, Chucky. Oh, it's troublesome.
I don't look past the top 2 or 3 on the table, man. Druitt came up though.
Yeah.
Bulls get relegated from where?
That's it.
I don't know. Was that the year before? Who got relegated from our league, man? I don't know, bro. Did Rydalmere come up? From 3? Man, I have no idea.
You just said Mount Druitt come up.
Yeah, but Rydalmere, did they come up from NPL 3 to NPL 2? I felt like they had a good year.
Did they
no?
played MPL 2?
They were NPL 2 last year. I told you they were a decent side. Man, and Granville Rage had some movement up or down, surely. No, oh, man, I told you I had no chance.
Right, Robbie, what are you saying?
The Hills go down in NPL
Oh,
1.
Hills, yeah, I told
Mount
ya.
Druitt came up. And then NPL 2 teams went down, Nepean and Dunbar, and Jets and Mounties came up, and Mounties beat
Ah,
Look at
Okay,
that,
done,
man.
Robbie.
How
Right.
did the playoff finish?
the Peanuts.
He must be scouting for his next
Yeah,
club.
well
That's
done,
why.
man. Penalty shootout.
I remember, like, as well, everyone's like buzzing for these games. I remember when they first said they're going to do relegation games and stuff. I'm like, this is cracker, you know, it's going to be so good. And then I realized I have to watch Mount Druitt play against someone, and I was like, man, like, I started watching for 10 minutes at Popendetta Park, and I thought, turn this off.
Turn it
I can't
off.
watch it
Aye,
anymore.
rough, man. I
We
went to watch.
went to watch Mounties and Nepean in the first
That
round.
was terrible.
That
No,
was terrible, man.
terrible.
Was it bad?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
not an each.
no.
There was no goal.
No chances.
No chances.
Yeah, it's all
Rubbish.
it's cagey, you know. You're going like, I don't want to watch a
And
cagey
in
game. The team has
fairness,
been out of form.
The
Surface
surface
was-
didn't help them. Like it was
Yeah,
at
it was-
Mounties were at home, and it was.
Is that on that Mounties pitch?
grass.
Oh, that grass
Oh.
is like that's. I played a friendly there, mate. I felt like I was playing quicksand.
Oh, it's hard, man.
It's bad.
That was
Yeah.
Cook Park, Mount Pritchard, by the way, in case you're curious.
Yes, well done.
Yep. Okay, that's Nepean home ground.
Next.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
That's Cook Park, St Mary's.
St Mary's.
Oh, I didn't know we had to pick the suburb, mate.
Just saying,
Nah,
there's
I'll
two
give you
Cook
Cook Park.
Parks.
We'll give him Cook Park.
We'll
Give
give
him
him
Cook
Oh,
Park.
giving it to him.
I didn't even know that was two Cook Parks. There you go.
Yeah.
So there's Cook Park, Mount Pritchard. So who plays there?
Mounties. That's where we went.
Ah,
And then the
Nepean's-
Nepean played at Cook Park and
St
St Mary's.
Mary's.
Aye.
Right. Okay. And then so top scorer in each league.
If you give us the goals, I'll be really
Go on,
impressed.
Chaka, you go.
You go first, Chucky.
Well, Euro, obviously.
Yep.
I swear there's a fella called Mitch Cross or something. Mitchell Cross.
Right, what about him? But was he top scorer?
Yeah, it's top
What
scorer.
league?
Second.
No.
Okay.
Third.
Who was the second top scorer in NPL 2? We
Yeah,
actually named this. If you listen to the podcast, we mention this every single week. These three people.
I watch a podcast.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Just don't put sound on.
Just watches it, doesn't listen to
The
nothing.
Granville Rage fella,
Puts his
he
kids
was
to sleep.
banging in goals.
This is NPL 2. You remember it was NPL 3.
He said-
Is it? I don't know, man. I'm out.
You're a top scorer at NPL 1 with 30 goals.
31.
31.
Man, you bastard.
Is that the one they gave from the Bay though?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question mark on that. We'll come
You
back
was
to
probably
that.
scored
Across the line
32.
first, yeah.
Mm.
Second one was Andre from Druitt, the
Andre
Portuguese
who?
bloke.
Andre who?
Andre.
Yeah, just a Brazilian fella with just the one name.
Was it a de something? Maybe?
No.
Nah, good guess.
A
But
Pereira?
nah, he just keeps saying names, but if you want.
Ronaldinho?
Andre Martins.
Andre
Martins.
And how many goals?
18?
26.
Wow.
Wow,
Uh,
good season
really?
for the fella.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Is
and
he still
actually-
with him?
Was he out for
But
a
he
while?
went to Malta.
He was.
He was injured for a while, wasn't
Everyone said, yeah, top player, right?
Aye, good player. Good player. And Mitch Cross.
he? Mitch Cross 36.
35. 35
one
goals,
off, one
man.
off.
Yeah.
So, and did you guess who
yeah.
scored the most out of three of them?
Crossy, of course.
Oh, obviously now you know the answer.
Well, no,
Wait,
Crossy's at Bankstown.
I had that too, man. I ticked Cross.
Yeah.
I had him.
Right, and then two teams in the final World Cup was.
Yeah, that's not
Rockdale up, yeah.
Yep, and then last question: Chris Payne is playing for which club next season? Big question.
Terrible ferrets.
Yep, decent. Have you spoke? I thought you didn't speak to him anymore.
No, we're best pals, mate.
Ah, I told you.
He wants me to come down, but he's 10.
I'm going to say retired or
Yeah.
IPL, one of the two.
Nah, he's retired now.
Retired.
Definitely
Well
retired.
done. So I think.
That's
it's
why when it came up in the question, I was
Yeah, it
like,
would
I
have
don't
been
know.
cold there.
Look, boys, that's pretty much wraps up the podcast. Thanks a lot for coming on. Nothing
Aye.
really else to add.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Nah,
Ian.
thanks for having us.
Obviously,
And
Obviously, all the best for you two personally and together. with
And
the
recovery
team
wise,
this
mate,
year.
all the best.
Yeah.
How far
Thank
along are
you.
you? Just last bit. How far along are you?
3 months in, 3.5.
Right, okay, a wee bit to go.
Yeah. Next season I'll be back 2026.
Nah, you'll get
Okay.
that.
And just to say, like, appreciate you guys doing this work, man. Giving some recognition to the NPL leagues, man. I think it's really good. There's obviously a lot of tension with it. A lot of people come watch the games, but you guys, I appreciate the work you guys put in.
Thank you.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers, guys.
Beautiful. Thanks, lads.
Thanks,
So
guys.
easy.
It was fast.
Yeah, good episode, man.
Bit of banter.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
What was that guy's name you said?
Or-
Gaffer was the wank.
Oh, Darren Ioka.
Danny
Darren Ioka.
Yoka.
Yoka.
Yoka.